What do you think your brother and your success comes from? Because everywhere you guys have gone, I guess maybe for the exception of the NASCAR Grand National Division, which is now Cup, or maybe the USAC Stock Cars. Other than that, you're a living legend here, basically. In the great, you're smiling now, but you are. You know, people remember the Black Bandit from Mount Clemens and whatever Tri-City and Toledo, numerous track championships, and then went on to win the 1989 ARCA Omaha Championship. What is it about you guys that clicks and can garner that much success? Can you put your finger on it?
Yeah, other than, I guess the only thing I could point to is just total commitment. I mean, we have nothing else under our sleeve. I mean, this is it. We, back in the 50s, and when we were growing up as small kids, and we wanted to be racers in the 60s. By the time Ron got out of the service in 68 and started driving a race car, I mean, we're pretty much committed. This is all we know now. I mean, we didn't go to school for anything else. We don't know anything else. You better succeed at this or you're going to go hungry. So it's total commitment, and of course, the better you can do, the more you're going to eat. You know, so I mean, you have to be successful. There's nothing else to fall back on. I learned nothing else but racing. I mean, I grew up in a racing house and family, and that's all we've ever done. And you know, now I try to work on my kids a little bit about trying to learn some things in school, because I can teach you about racing any day. As I don't know how to work computers, and I don't know all this geometry and stuff they do in school. I say, you need to take advantage of that, because I can learn you to race anytime. I can tell you how to build engines and build gears and build cars, but I can't teach you about computers and that kind of stuff. So you better learn how to do that. But it's got to work for us, and it's been fairly successful, but it's been a long, long road to get here. A long ride. I don't know if I'd want to do it again, or I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. I spent, basically I've just gotten to the NASCAR level in the last couple of years, and successful as a car owner and driver this year, but that's 48 years later. That's a long time commitment.
I think what a lot of people don't realize is you're an extremely gifted mechanic and an engineer, because I've been to the shop and you've been in there with your planes and your levels and your grinders and saws and welders, and you were in there building your race car. You were doing it. Ron was building the motors. You guys you're not just race car drivers, you are also darn good mechanics.
Yeah, that's one thing about our operation. I can honestly say, if somebody said, here's a shop, go build a race car, and you can't do it on the outside. I mean, you can't go buy anything. You got to build it. I wouldn't, dare to say we're one of the few teams that could physically build, between Ron and I, we could physically construct the whole chassis, the body, the engines, build the tram. I mean, we build our own transfer, load them in a hauler, drive them to the track, and race them on the track. I mean, we had to. I mean, that's how we grew up. We started at the lowest end of the scale, and you had to do that. I mean, we wouldn't have to have somebody build us an engine. We wouldn't have to have somebody drive it to the track for us or build the chassis. I mean, I build a lot of chassis for even other competitors. So. But that's why. I mean, because we started at the lower end, and you had to be able to do that. You had to know every aspect of that car, because there was just me and him. We had to know how to build gears. We had to know how to build transmissions. We had to know everything about the car, because you couldn't afford to pay somebody else to do it. Nowadays, that's, professional racing now, it's a lot different than that. You can buy engines, you can buy cars ready to go, or you can buy chassis, and you can hire truck drivers. But we're probably one of the few teams that could actually physically do the whole 9 yards if you had to do it. Yeah.
You are a car builder, and you touched a little earlier on that the crash at Texas, and I still have it in my scrapbook of this plume of smoke, and the picture. There's these little bitty black things that are cars that are on fire. I guess yourself and Ken Rowley and a couple other guys are in that. Ken Rowley is now racing ARCA successfully, and your cars are both on fire, and you said you destroyed that car. As a car builder and the driver, I mean, certainly it's different if you're just a car builder and you see your car get wrecked, it's destroyed, it's a write-off. But you're not just the car builder, you're also the driver. What does that do to you to see a car that you put together and you gotta shovel it up and throw it in the trailer like that?
That hurts. It really does. I mean, you spend so many hours building that thing, it becomes part of you. You almost start talking to it and naming them. We do name all our vehicles, and you put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in them. You work day and night on them, and you don't even really think so much about the money. Yeah, it costs money, but it's all the time you got into it and how much a part of you it is that you just destroyed. Yeah, that probably hurts more than anything.